So I'll leave it like that. All right, now I'm going to add some of the detail over here. I need to delete the lines that are going to be hidden by the objects that are in front. So this railing here, there's a handrail there with all the verticals and horizontals, and that is in front of the items that are behind it, back in the back. So here's the handrail, here's the door and the window and stuff. That's all back behind there. So let's see if we can see it here. It's a little bit better, I think. Yeah. Now, I think there's a picture somewhere. That's a little bit better. Well, all of this stuff here, these doors and stuff, these are back behind the guardrail, which sits up here. So, all right, so I'm going to go back to my AutoCAD drawing. So we need to trim that out. So this is a process of trimming this out. Now, one thing that's going to make it easier is if I set the layer of all the handrail, the verticals and horizontals, to one color that's different from the stuff behind it, then I can differentiate a little bit. Since these are exact opposites, I mean exactly the same, I'm going to erase this side and just do one side, and then I'm going to mirror it when I'm done here. All right, so I'm going to make all of this one color. I'm going to make it yellow. So I know that's the one I want. If it doesn't change color like mine just did, I didn't change color, it's because it's even though I changed the layer, it's most likely because this property is not set to by layer. Okay, so, and then I'm going to let me change this to yellow. That's what I want, is yellow. And I want to, now I'm going to select all of these, and you got to kind of figure out what is what, but I can kind of tell what is what. So that's all that. That's the yellow. This is all yellow. These are yellow. Yellow. Some of these are really close, so I got to zoom in close to see them. That's a yellow. This is where you get really proficient at zooming in and out quickly with the wheel. All right, so change all that to yellow. Now what I can do is I can isolate the layer in the background, the white layer, and which will turn off the yellow layer. So there's a button up here in the layers panel. It's right there. It's called isolate. So if I click on the white layer and hit enter, it'll turn every other layer off. So what that's going to let me do is just grab these and change all the colors of these. So I can grab all those and change those quickly. I want that to be red because that's way in the back. It's going to hide it, which is fine. I want all of these to be red too. We're going to talk about the layer color in a second, why we use what where, but I'm just doing that for right now. Okay, so to unisolate it, the button underneath it will unisolate it. So it'll turn everything that had been turned off. Now, if it does what's mine is doing, where you can't see it, it's because it just needs to be regenerated. So you type the command regen, R-E-N-G-E-N. So you can just type RE, it'll pop up, click on it, and there you go. So it just regenerates the drawing for you. All right, so I need to now trim out the red lines from the location where they would be hidden from the behind the yellow line. So everywhere that it crosses the yellow line, it would definitely be trimmed. So I can do that first. So all of these are trimmed out. All of those red lines that go in between the yellow lines have to be trimmed out. So those are back behind. They're hidden by that. Now I need to know which ones are verticals and which ones are spaces. Okay, that's a vertical, that's a vertical. So trim that out, trim that out. This one here I can just erase because it's behind that. It's going to get a little confusing at times, but the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. Trim, 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 erase. That one is good. Let's see. Trim, trim, trim. And then erase that one. There's a couple down here I need to trim out. All right. There we go. So that's all. I've trimmed out all the red lines from that are behind the yellow lines. Now I'm going to add in my hatch for my shutters. That's these horizontal lines right here. So hatch, set the angle to 1 inch. I'm going to set the space to 1 inch, set the angle to 0. And then I'll click here, and then I have to kind of really look at it here. There's a little space right there, there's a space here, space there. Okay, that's the one side, then the other side is this, and there's this spot, and this spot, and this spot. Okay, so that's that. The next thing is I need the muttons that go in between, in the opening of the glass here that divide the glass. So I'm just going to draw a vertical line, regenerate it. Then I'm going to use the divide command, div, enter, select my line. The number of spaces I want is 3, hit enter. It's going to show me the nodes, then I can draw a line and snap to the node. Hold down shift, right click, node snap. Now I can snap right to there. Draw a line, node snap. Okay, you can erase those nodes when you're done with them. Stretch those over. All right, so I drew the muttons in there, and I'm going to change the layer real quick, and then I can copy them. From there to there, and copy them over here too. I'll have to trim out the lines that are hidden. So these ones are I delete the horizontals, and then these verticals I can trim out. All right. So I'm going to hatch these here. So hatch, use the match properties of hatch. Click on the one that has the properties I want to use. Click inside here and here, here and here. And then I'm going to mirror this entire area here, all of this. Grab these two. Okay, so I have all of that selected. I'm going to use the ridge line as my mirror point. Go straight up, click, and enter. Oops, something wasn't right. Let's try that again. Mirror. Enter. If it doesn't work this time, we'll have to just copy it. Straight up, click, enter. No, it's a little bit off. All right, well, I'll just move it over then. Let me undo it, because I'm missing a couple lines anyways. I'm just going to copy it. It should fix it. All right, so now it's fitting in there correctly. All right, so now I have the handrails and the doors and the shutters done. And I have the roof done, and now I'm going to add in the little handrails that go on, along the door here. So I need to fix this here. This part of the stairs needs to go all the way over to this line here. So extend this right here, trim out, or I can just grip edit it. So extend this line over here and grip edit it. Okay, and then the top of the handrail is at 36 inches up, so offset 36. Do this line right there. Trim this off, so I'm going to do it on one side and then copy it over. Offset that 1.5. That's the top of the handrail. I'm going to draw a vertical line right from the center of that, right from the midpoint of that line straight down, and then offset 2 inches over. That's the post. Erase the middle line. Okay. Then I'm going to copy these two lines and bring them up to the same height over here as that line. And then draw lines that are matched up with these right here. So, which in reality it probably wouldn't be like that, but I'll just, yeah, I don't think it would really be like that, because this is, yeah, I'm going to just erase these ones here. I don't need these. I'm just going to bring it up until it hits that. Make it look like the other one. Chamfer it. Chamfer it. Alright, so now we can copy this to the other side too. So those lines copy. That's my base point right there. Come straight across. Perpendicular snap. Look for the perpendicular snap right there. Click. Alright. So that's about the extent of all the detail lines. There's one line right here. I didn't see that. So offset this. Let's say offset 4 inches, let's say. Trim that off. Trim this. Yeah, I don't really like that. I'm going to stretch it out a couple inches, so I'm going to make it 6 inches. Alright, so on the other side I'll offset 6 inches. Trim it here. Trim this. Alright. So that's about it. We're going to make the slope line go down at an angle. Click here from that point. Come down at an angle. I can just trim this one here. Same thing on this side. Line. Come down at an angle. Trim. That shows that the ground is sloping away from the building, which is what you want to show. And is there anything else that we need to show? Those little lines that are in the windows, those are really decorative type of things. They're often not included, or not something you would see in a typical architectural drawing, so I'm not going to include them. And if I want to do the double line like this is here, the way you would do that would be to draw a line that's 1 inch away from the hatch there. Now, how do I snap to the hatch? If you want to snap to your hatch, okay, you have to turn it on in your options. So you type OP, and you go to display, let's see, drafting maybe, right there, ignore hatch objects. So it's in the drafting tab. There's a check mark that says ignore hatch objects. If you uncheck that, now when I draw my line, I can actually snap to the hatch line. So I'm going to draw one over and up. So I'm going to hatch check my properties. I'm going to match properties. This one. I'm going to set origin. Click that. And then now I have 2 lines there. Okay, so I'm going to change this to